There are 4 secrets that highly successful women who have skyrocketed up the corporate ladder know that you don't. And today I'm going to be spilling the tea on what those secrets are. Because in my opinion, more people need to know these secrets so we can equal the playing field to climbing the corporate ladder. If you are here to learn what those secrets are, tap that like button and let's jump straight into it. The first secret that highly successful professional women know is that you need to have a clear career vision. When corporate boardrooms typically look like this, you know not a lot of women are going to find themselves there by accident. And in fact, I really think that no one gets to the top levels in their career, especially if you're working for a major corporation, by accident. It takes a lot of intention, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of perfectly executed politics, which we're going to come back to in just a minute. But first, I want to be really clear that the vision doesn't mean that it is fixated on the job title that you want at the specific company. The vision is actually much bigger than that. Now, of course, your career vision should include where you want to go, what you want to achieve. I have a whole video on that. But I also really want you to think bigger than this. What do you want your life to look like? Because your career is an important part of your life, but it's not the only part of your life. And I know a lot of people have this misconception that if you want to reach the top of the corporate ladder, you can't have a life outside of work, but that's simply not true. In fact, every successful woman that I have worked with, met, and studied and observed, quite the contrary has been true. And there's been no uniform way that they've designed their lives. But if you don't have clarity on the life that you actually want, it's gonna be really hard for you to build it. And this actually brings me to the second point. And this is gonna be no surprise to anyone who's been hanging around here for a while. The second secret that highly successful professional women know is they need to have boundaries. Have you ever met a successful executive that said yes to everything? Chances are most of the executive and senior leaders that you work with say no to most of the requests for their time, for their attention, and for their input. They are master delegators. They know what their priorities are and they operate within them. And this is something that I've talked about before on my channel. They also have very clear boundaries at work in a few different regards. They are not doing things like oversharing personal details or getting caught up in the bad gossip that flies around the office. And I haven't met any really successful professional women that didn't have the ability to channel vibes. And if you're trying to work on those, I have something coming up. Check out the description bar. Of course, their boundaries aren't just limited to being at work though. They also have solid work-life boundaries. Successful female professionals are not trying to have it all in the 80 cents of the term, but they do have it all because they know what all is for them. Whether it's making time and space for themselves, for their hobbies, for their friends, or their families, they know how to prioritize themselves. In fact, their willingness to prioritize themselves is one of the elements that helps them move ahead. And that actually brings me into the next secret that highly successful professional women know. And this one, if you've been trying to get a promotion at work and have been struggling to get ahead, this is gonna be a game changer. They don't wait for opportunities, they create them for themselves. This goes completely contrary to so much of what we've been taught. You're supposed to wait to be called on in class. You're supposed to wait to be picked for the team in sports. Over and over in our lives, we've been taught to wait our turn. So of course, when it comes to getting opportunities at work, whether it's a plum project assignment, your dream client, getting to lead your biggest customer account, or getting a promotion, so many professional women are waiting for their boss to give them the opportunity. But you don't have to wait for the opportunity. You can create it for yourself. If you're impatient like me, you are gonna really ace this. How do you create your own opportunities? Well, it starts with knowing your unique awesomeness quotient, your UAQ. If you have not downloaded my free UAQ starter kit yet, you absolutely need to go and do that. You can get it at uaqstarterkit.com. Your UAQ is going to define what is going to naturally set you apart. It can even be what's already setting you apart that you're not even fully aware of. Now, the real magic with this happens is when we can find an opportunity that aligns with the company's priorities and create an unignorable impact. And I think I have a video on this one, and I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch it after this one. Now, of course, knowing your UAQ and creating a big impact is really important, but it's not going to be the only thing that helps you advance in your career. And highly successful professional women know this. This leads me into the fourth secret that they know, and that is corporate politics are power plays. I hear it every day, probably multiple times a day.
I don't do politics.
Honestly, I used to feel that way too. I didn't understand it, and I thought that you didn't really have to play in order to get ahead. But it was actually one of my executive female mentors that really taught me how to play the game and how important it was. but you don't have to play their game. Remember, you're playing it your way. I know that there's a lot of gross and icky feelings when it comes to office politics because there's a lot of bad politics out there. However, playing corporate politics is really the key to unlock your influence and a high impact network. Being savvy at office politics is not only going to get you access to, it can even get you into the inner circle. These are the people that make decisions and can create opportunities for you to move ahead. And honestly, once you're in that inner sphere, you're really unstoppable at work. The other thing is that corporate politics is how we influence decisions and influence outcomes. Because convincing people that your way is the right way or the best way isn't just exhausting, it's not always very effective. Look, we already know that it's not always the smartest, most talented, or hardest workers who get ahead. In fact, all too often they're the ones that are getting passed over for promotions. It's the people that are making big contributions with big visibility that are getting the opportunities to climb the corporate ladder. And I promise you, it sounds really complicated. It's really not as hard as you think. I got some office politics videos that I'll leave down below too. But I know that watching videos isn't always enough, so I do want to mention that I run an AMA over on my Instagram stories every single Wednesday. Honestly, it's my favorite thing of the week, getting to answer your questions, and I basically write you novels. So in case you ever have a cue that you want to drop in, go over to my Instagram, give me a follow, and watch my stories on Wednesdays. This actually brings me to the fifth secret that all successful professional women know and fully embody. You need to be unapologetic in your ambition. There's a reason why that was my channel tagline forever, and I still say it all the time. Think about it this way. Have you ever met a senior or executive women leader who felt sorry about being in the position she was in or felt sorry for wanting to be there? No, they know that they deserve a seat at the table and in the corner office if that's their ambition. They're not getting trapped in stories about being locked out by the boys club or that no one's gonna like them if they try to advance in their careers. Or so many of the other stories that we tell ourselves that really hold ourselves back in our careers and in our lives. So if you walk away with only one thing in this video, I want it to be this. You are allowed to want what you want and to go after it unapologetically. I'll put a post up on my Instagram too so that you can save it for when you need the reminder. But this really goes back to that with energy that I was talking about earlier. Once you embody this, not only do you find yourself dealing with way less drama, you'll find yourself getting way more opportunities and the paychecks that come with them. Because my friends, confidence and conviction truly are contagious. When you trust yourself, believe in yourself, and know deeply that you can achieve extraordinary things, other people are gonna believe it too. I know that this is something that a lot of you might not have the easiest time with. So what I want you to do is I want you to go watch this video right now with some quick confidence boosters to start building up your confidence levels. Don't fake it till you make it when you can just build it in the first place. Before you go, if this video helped you, give it a like, really helps my channel, makes you my favorite career bestie. Win-win situation going on. Always my friend. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. For now.